What's up, homie?
Hey, look, Chop got to stay around your crib for a while, homie. That's cool?
Yeah, man, it's cool. Shit's the best place for him anyway.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're taking a look at the 20 best cars you can set the streets ablaze with in Grand Theft Auto. Before we begin, we publish new videos all week long, so be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. The Patriot. This line of totally not Hummers is among the best cars you can get if you're somebody who values durability over speed. In fact, this is the perfect vehicle for missions that involve getaways and shootouts, as almost any non-explosive weapon is practically useless against it. The Patriot is made with military-grade metal and plastic, making it insanely useful when barreling through traffic and regular cop cars. Many guides and forums will recommend you acquire one before tackling tougher missions, especially if you're playing the older 3D GTAs. The Jester. For the record, we are talking about the sports car Jester and not the racing car Jester. Now, in all honesty, this isn't exactly among the best cars in San Andreas and GTA 5. If you want something faster, there are other sports cars to get. However, if you find yourself in a situation where you're racing a bunch of Euro cars, this is a pretty compelling choice. It still manages to hit solid speeds and boasts excellent turning regardless of the weather conditions. On top of that, for a sports car, it takes damage like a champ. Really, you won't have to worry about your steering being affected from crashes as much as the other sports cars. So if you can't get the higher end stuff, the Jester isn't as awful as some may tell you. The Feltzer. For this car, we're going to ignore the abysmal rendition that we were subjected to in San Andreas. The Feltzer featured in GTA 4, on the other hand, is a super excellent vehicle. Bit of an asterisk tacked onto it. At first, you might struggle because of how much torque there is behind it. Yes, there is a bit of a learning curve in handling this thing, but once you get a hold of it, you'll find the Feltzer is excellent for using in races that demand a lot of drifting. Just make sure you're not driving it around when you're looking to commit some crime. The Feltzer does not withstand gunfire too well, and that's putting it lightly. The Buffalo.
Seriously, sir, I appreciate your help. Must have things up like old times.
I hear that.
I got some knowledge to impart, man. Don't forget that.
Whether you want to go for the 3D version or the HD version, the Buffalo is one of the best muscle cars to get in San Andreas, GTA 5, and GTA 4. Normally, you'd want to use a muscle car for something like street races. After all, these are cars that are supposed to have a firm grip on the road. However, this grip has proven to be just as effective in off-road races, making it quite the efficient vehicle for getting almost anywhere you want to go. Well, so long as you're not trying to take this thing up the mountain. The Coquette.
That is fresh to death.
If you want a sports car that offers different options without sacrificing performance, you cannot go wrong with the Coquette. Available in GTA 4 and 5, the Coquette can utilize 5 or 6 gears depending on which game you're playing, and it even boasts configurations for rear-wheel drive. And no matter what color or style you choose, this baby looks slick as hell in just about every shade and pattern imaginable. Just keep in mind that even with the highest armor upgrade installed, this isn't a car you should be taking out for demolition derbies or causing traffic jams. The Vigilante. What are you talking about? No, this isn't the Batmobile from the 1989 Batman movie. This is the Vigilante. This is a totally different car, you guys. This is one of the handfuls of supercars that you can acquire in GTA 5, and it is among the most useful and versatile. In addition to reaching high speeds, the Vigilante is a tough vehicle to destroy with its impeccable armor and offensive capabilities. Really, once you start blasting cars with its dual-mounted machine guns and the missile launchers, you'll truly feel like you could become a Dark Knight for Los Santos. Why do you keep calling it a Batmobile? Stop that. The Saber Turbo. When it comes to street races, it can be a tad tricky finding a vehicle suitable for the competition. If you're wanting something that won't flip over from the slightest bounce but also maintains good speed while drifting, the Saber Turbo is your answer. This puppy is capable of handling tight turns and manages to recover speeds quickly after slowing down. Not only that, the soft suspension ensures that you won't flip or spin out from hitting a weird corner or a small bump in the road. That said, it may be in your best interest in acquiring a Saber Turbo before tackling the more lengthy street races. The Comet. The Comet may be a basic Porsche knockoff, but this car has been a part of the GTA franchise for a rather long time now. Despite its age, it still remains one of the better cars to get compared to your average sedan. While you do get a hefty amount of speed and power from the engine, the main focus with the Comet is giving complete control to the driver. The grip and steering is so tight, so refined, that you may need to take some time to adjust to it. It really is super responsive, so much that it might be hard to go back to any other car. Of course, that depends on which game you're playing and what other cars are offered in that game. The Phoenix. Your enjoyment in driving the Phoenix may depend on how much you enjoyed driving the Feltzer, assuming you already have. The reason we're saying this is because the Phoenix carries a lot of torque, probably more than the Feltzer. That isn't to say the nearly unmitigated power doesn't have its uses. If you're wanting a good car that has good drifting, this is definitely a car to save up for. But if you're wanting something to just blaze down the straightaway roads with, this is absolutely a car you need. In other words, the Phoenix is specifically designed for the speed freaks. The Adder. If fuel was something you'd actually have to think about while playing GTA, this would be a car we would be against. Really, burns fuel faster than a blazing oil refinery isn't too great of a selling point. But for those of us who are prone to crashing and need some kind of car that can take hefty hits, the Adder is the perfect mobile fortress. You can quickly reach 120 miles per hour and not have to worry about totally demolishing your ride on the first or second crash, or even the third one. If the Phoenix is for capable speed freaks, the more unhinged drivers will take pleasure with the Adder. The Zenouro. Honestly, I can't believe it took us this long to finally touch on Hypercars, but while it is the first one appearing, it is nowhere close to being the worst of the bunch. As expected from a car carrying the Hypercar moniker, the Zenouro can reach high speeds in an obscenely short amount of time. And the best part is that you get both high speeds and impressively responsive handling with very little oversteer. Although there is a bit of a caveat to the handling. Even though you can get quite a bit of control over the steering, the Zenouro is not a car you should get careless with. The grip is pretty god-awful, so you can easily spin out or crash from just the tiniest bump in the road or a small clip of another car. We'll say this though, the Zenouro is a pretty good way to practice recovery maneuvers for crashes, bumps, and messy bounces. The Entity XF. In a race against the Zenouro, the Entity XF might be fighting a losing battle as it is much slower than its hypercar brethren. Even so, that doesn't make it a low-tier vehicle. What the Entity XF lacks slightly in speed, it makes up for in other areas. For instance, it offers up superior acceleration, letting you reach its top speeds way quicker than some of the other hypercars. Furthermore, it boasts supreme steering and weight balance, making it handle like a dream. But the best aspect of this car that allows it to trump the Zenouro? A firm grip on the road. The Elegy RH8. Diving back into sports cars for just a quick second, the Elegy RH8 is among the finest sports cars we have seen in GTA 5. There's just something vintage about its overall design between the hood and the spoiler, but what about the performance? Well, if you care a great deal about control, the Elegy RH8 is the best sports car you can buy, as it can steer smoothly even through rough weather conditions. Just keep in mind that this is not a car designed for you to reach Mach 5 down the freeway. The brakes are far from acceptable when going above the speed limit. The Banshee. Be it the standard Banshee, the 900R, or the GTS, the Banshee is overall one of the greatest lines of cars you could possibly acquire. No matter which type of Banshee you go with, you are always guaranteed that it will reach reasonably high speeds, if not higher. The real question in deciding which one you want is, what do you value more in a car? Speedsters should absolutely go with the GTS, as it is the fastest car in GTA Online, maxing out at 172.5 miles per hour. Chaos agents that like to wreak havoc and crash around the city's streets will love the 900R, but if you're just wanting a stylish car that can compete in most races, any regular Banshee will do just fine. The Infernus. The Infernus has been around for a while now, its history of appearances going all the way back to GTA 3 in 2001. Despite its age, it's managed to maintain roughly the same experience in every single game since. The same old story goes, car with an awesome amount of speed and acceleration with some pretty bad handling. In other words, this is a car that can be highly prone to fishtailing when hitting top speed. However, the best of GTA drivers can turn this into one of the most impressive and thrilling cars to drive in the series. The Ruiner. Initially, the Ruiner doesn't look like anything super remarkable. It looks ancient, it looks a bit clunky, and it looks like it wouldn't hold up well in any given race. Admittedly, the steering is going to throw some players off, but that is exactly what makes the Ruiner so great. The loose steering makes it perfectly capable of competing in drift-heavy races. Even better, the tires ensure that you don't drift too loosely, allowing you to stay on the road while making beautiful smoke screens. You really should not count this car out. The Emperor. Whereas the Ruiner is a car you should absolutely take to races, the Emperor is quite the opposite. Speed and acceleration are nowhere close to being as strong as its other qualities. What the Emperor truly excels in is stability and durability. Well, that is if you're playing GTA 5, as the previous games have significantly worse versions of this luxury sedan. That said, even if it's the worst car on our list, it is still a worthy vehicle to own if you're looking to cruise around in comfort, or if you need a car that can take a beating until you reach your destination. You'll be as safe as the Queen in this thing. The Cheetah. If there is one word to describe the Cheetah, it is, without a doubt, sexy. Truly, this car looks so fine that it puts almost every other car in GTA history to shame. But the Cheetah's sleek curves is not the reason why we're putting it on this list. Among the supercars, this is the one you can use to blaze down the Los Santos streets and do so comfortably and efficiently. In addition to the exceptional top speed and acceleration, the Cheetah has some remarkably strong brakes so that you can just stop just in time to make your turn or avoid collisions. And it gets even better once you've installed all of the best upgrades. The Stallion. Anyone would look like a real Duke of Hazzards in this car, and this muscle car in particular has all the best traits you could possibly ask for. Well, maybe not so much in acceleration, but the speed, handling, and durability of the car in GTA 5 is absolutely incredible. Plus, unlike the previous iterations in the older GTA games, the GTA 5 version of the Stallion is not prone to spin out unless you are actively trying to do so. But if you're wanting something a little less vintage looking and still prefer a sports car, then our final entry should suffice. The Turismo. It may not come with any weapons, it may not be borderline indestructible to most damage, it may not even be the fastest car in the franchise, but even so, the Turismo is truly one of the best vehicles you can get in San Andreas, GTA 4, and GTA 5. With this, you get the high speeds of a usual sports car, you get the terrific handling of a muscle car, and you get the reliable braking of a typical economy car. It is everything you could want in a car from various corners of the automobile market, and honestly, it may be the only car you will ever need for your campaigns. But which car do you prefer to drive around in GTA? Did it make our list? Let us know down in the comments, and be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays for more great videos every day.